Hello, hello. Welcome back to the podcast. It's your girl, Kamie Crawford. And today, we have some boss bitches in the building. Tori Robinson and Leah O'Malley, co-founders of the multi-million-dollar apparel brand Boys Lie and the hosts of the Boys Lie podcast. Tori and Leah, welcome.
Oh my God,
I'm like so flattered.
Yeah, I'm flattered.
I'm like blushing and you literally like preset this before.
Let me tell you something. I have been wearing Boys Lie ever since I met you two.
Oh my God.
I love you.
That makes me so happy.
Your sisters get the stuff too?
They're obsessed.
Okay, yeah.
They wear it. They post it. Like we are Boys Lie. Like
obsessed.
Boys Lie family.
We're a Boys Lie family.
We love that.
I cannot tell you how comfy. First of all, this little, you guys, if you're listening, you can't see me, but this little sweatshirt, this hoodie, I've been wearing this for the past 4 days. I've been on my period and I've been so
yeah, we're both getting ours.
That's why we're also in the thermal.
Yeah. This is why. So we are all like comfy cozy. Yeah. I almost wore the pants too, but I was like, I can't wear it. I've been wearing the pants for 4 days.
Oh my God.
We need to get you our new line for August.
I will take it.
I can't wait.
I know. I hate to toot our own horns, but like honestly, it might be like one of my favorites. Yeah.
It was my favorite designing so far.
The comfiest shit. And the jewelry. This necklace. I can't take it off.
I know.
It's so new, the jewelry. So like we're just starting to get people hooked on that. And people are like, wait, they actually do jewelry well.
Yes.
It's been a slow seller, which is crazy because honestly, I think once you have it in your hands, you know the quality and it's really great. But I think people are they're used to buying sweatpants from us. They're not used to buying jewelry. So we're hoping it takes off eventually because I love it personally.
I love it too.
Let me give the fucking testimonial right now, okay? Like this is not a sponsored episode, you guys. The weight of it is like so, it just feels like rich. It feels expensive, you know?
Yeah.
And then when I was on vacation with my sisters and I was wearing it every day in Turks and Caicos, they were like,
they're like, what about me?
I want that.
We need to get them some.
They almost stole it off my neck. So, yeah, but I'm obsessed. I have the ring. I have the girls laced me up, guys. Okay, so I've got everything. But I want to know from the both of you because you two are literally the quintessential like two best friends that were like, we should start a brand, and then actually did, and then made millions of dollars off of it. So can you just take us back to how you first met and how Boys Lie even came to be?
Yeah.
Can I start with the story about how we first met? So we've known each other for a very long time. We're 30 years old. We've known each other since we were 12. I think our first interaction was a very bad one.
Uh-oh.
I was not so cool in school, and Leah was a very big cool girl, and Leah bullied me just a tad.
Stop.
So my best friend, we went to separate schools, and my best friend Adina was in love with this guy. And we had heard through the grapevine that Tori had actually hooked up with him. So I was like, no problem. I'll call her. And I left her a voicemail. I'm like, if you ever hook up with blah, blah, blah again. Like,
which is funny because I dated him
like 13
before
also.
her. And yes, dating in middle school is like not real life either.
But so it is everything when you're in middle
kind
school.
Of hilarious.
Exactly. And I was like, oh, I got you, girl. Like, I'll call. But like now looking back, I'm like, what was I thinking? I was that was a bullying moment. I don't like think it was a good moment at all.
Every girl has had their day.
Yes.
Okay?
Mean Girls, I think, affected us in more ways than one, because I
sorry.
definitely ended up on like some 3-way calls.
Yeah.
So what do you think about?
It's part of girlgirlhood.
Yeah,
like
it is
part of girlhood. Don't feel bad about it.
So that was our first interaction. Luckily, we started becoming really close. Our ex-boyfriends were best friends, and they lived together
in college. So our freshman year of college, we started becoming closer and closer. But throughout like middle school and high school, we weren't in the same exact friend groups. I went to a different school that was a private school, but we always were hanging out with the same crowd. So like no matter what on the weekends, if we'd go to someone's house, we would see each other. We just never became really, really close till college.
Yeah. We started hanging out a lot more our senior year of high school because we had a mutual friend. But when we first started becoming like best friends, it's crazy because we were like the opposite of like a slow burn relationship. Like all of a sudden we were just like in it. And I think our friendship just really blossomed and exploded. And like we became genuinely sisters. Like we were attached at the hip.
I think it was also too such a pivotal point in my life because I was in such a toxic relationship during that time. And Leah was kind of the only person, being that my ex and and her ex were best friends as well. So it was like she was the only person who actually kind of witnessed that type of, I don't want to use the word abuse because it makes me kind of feel unwell inside, but she witnessed it, and it was kind of like you leaned in just being like, can I be there for you in any which way?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I leaned into that friendship as well. So
Yeah, it was. I could like when I'd be on the phone with my ex-boyfriend, I could like hear it.
Wow. Oh
in the
yeah, because
house.
they lived together.
yeah.
Wow.
So it was really gnarly, and that's kind of where our relationship really started, I feel like, blossoming. And then it grew throughout college. We dumped those losers, thank God.
Yeah, honestly, because I'm like, if your ex-boyfriend was there, what was
I don't
he
know.
doing?
Nothing.
Like,
Absolutely nothing. He wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
Wow.
But anyways, fresh out of college, Leah ended up moving to New York, where I always wanted to be. And I moved back to Philly. I started working for my family's company. They did an acquisition for a company in San Diego, and they were like, go move out there, go learn the business in and out. And it was a private label manufacturing company for cosmetics. Leah had always also wanted to be in California. So
We kind of like traded places. Like she always wanted to be in New York. I always wanted to be in California. Then here she goes off to California. But before she left, we had then at that point seen each other go through other pretty shitty relationships. So we just started saying boys lie all the time. Like it was really just something that it was just our vocabulary. Like boys lie, boys lie. We'd like literally be running down the streets of New York screaming boys lie. And so
no, it was crazy. And there was one moment right before I was leaving. It was probably my last time going to New York. I would go up every single weekend that I could. I would jump on the train from 30th Street and go to Penn Station immediately. But basically, it was St. Patrick's Day in New York City. We were so drunk. We end up in a fire station. We're screaming boys lie to the hills. And I'm like, I don't want to leave you. And it was such a girly drunk moment. And she's like, I don't want to leave you either. What do we do? And we're like, let's start a business. Let's start a
Genuinely,
brand.
that's how-
why can I like see it? Like I can envision it.
Wasted. Like let's do something.
It couldn't have been more blonde moment of all time. Like, I'm not kidding, straight out of a movie. And the next day, I went home. I was horrifically hungover, and I remember just getting on my computer and being like, boys lie, like let's see if it's trademarked, and it wasn't. And I was like, you know what, like what if we started a makeup brand, since I'm learning so much about producing makeup and the manufacturing side of it.
We could do it all in house, like there, and see
Right.
everything. You know.
So we started looking into it further and further. We looked at business structures that were fear of God. Jerry Lorenzo, he is an icon. He started out actually very small skewed with one hoodie, and that sold millions. And then he moved on to start jumping into his line and collection further and further. And we were always told, like, if you're going to launch anything, you need a full collection. You need a full collection. So we looked at his line. We looked at Pat McGrath. She's an incredible makeup artist, and she started with her entire makeup collection and a jacket, like a bomber jacket. So she had one SKU
I
that
didn't
was
know
an
that.
apparel piece as well.
She would like drop merch with her new collection. So we were like, that's cool. Like let's kind of
Wow.
copy that.
Yeah.
Essentially with boys lie.
And then
Yeah.
we thought, we love the supreme structure of like, these are collectible items that you only release once. You can't get them again after this. So we were like, let's kind of use all three of these business structures and make them have a baby. And that's what Boys Lie will be. Well, we were two very naive girls coming from Radnor, Pennsylvania to California, thinking that we'd be the next Kylie Jenner Cosmetics. And we failed miserably.
Really?
Miserably. Like, we had borrowed from friends and family money basically to be like, we want to start this, and we got their support, and we were basically out of funds, like within
Sitting on thousands of empty components, which
God.
by the way we still have.
to this day.
Stop.
Yeah.
We still have empty makeup components.
And
Did you
insane
ever think
amount.
about like releasing them now, or you're just like,
I would never get
it's
into
a sore
cosmetics.
subject.
No. I don't think we'll ever get into cosmetics unless if it's us working with a brand that's so already knees deep in it, like a Tarte or like a Too Faced, or I don't know. I'm just throwing brands out there, but
They're gorgeous, honestly. Like we went to Hong Kong to pick out the packaging and all of that. So if anyone wants to buy it, like hit it up.
let us know.
But as like the makeup was failing, we were like, shit. Like I don't know what we're gonna do, but the merch that we had, we somehow got into the hands of like some influencers, and it's because she had connections that she had made in LA when she lived in ASU or lived in
Arizona. Not even like connections. It was just friends that I had made, because Arizona is such a hotspot territory where you can go to Vegas for the weekend. You can go to Los Angeles for the weekend. You can go to San Diego. You can go to Palm Springs. So I was kind of lucky that I had met so many friends at school because of just the territory alone. And I had just asked those friends, like, hey, I'm not asking you to do me any favors. I'm not asking for anyone to like vouch for either of us. I just want to simply send a package to certain celebrities' addresses. Like, if you can just give me the address, that's all I'm asking for.
Yeah.
Don't expect much. And we were like not even weeks away from shutting down our business entirely, having our home friends probably like just making fun of us left and right in group chats. And Gigi Hadid, in the height of her breakup with Tyler Cameron, walked out head to toe in a Boys Lie set. And it was like a full paparazzi moment. The brand exploded. We didn't know what to do. We obviously like quit doing the cosmetic side of things. We had to pivot. And the brand went from like a $250,000 revenue company to a $5 million company within the next year.
Just
so it was
with the clothes.
Yeah, it was a crazy pivot.
It was a crazy time.
Yeah.
But the thing is too, it was just us. So now looking back, I'm like, I don't know how we got away with that, because we were literally like printing hoodies.
This is what I heard, that you guys were like going to the printer and actually like
shop.
doing
Yes,
it
because
yourself.
they couldn't do it fast enough, and we were then just like folding it and putting it into a box.
We didn't even
nothing
polybag
else,
it. We didn't know like that there
shipping
was
it out,
like
and
a
people were like,
regulatory
"Yay."
thing with the whole situation. We were just trying to get orders to people because we were so desperate for like cash just immediately.
Or, like it was crazy. I don't know if it's gonna be if it is the same today, but at that point, like people were like genuinely willing to wait like a couple months. So like even if we didn't have the inventory, we would still make the product, but they just wait 2 months to get it, and they would still be happy. I think now like it's a lot
bit
different.
different.
People are
Amazon
so
Prime fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Everybody, I mean, I love it.
It
But
was-
like,
Yeah, same.
people want things tomorrow.
right now.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it was so insane too, because we'd get these huge Revolve orders and we'd be like, oh my God, neither of us could drive a forklift. We'd go to a warehouse. We'd climb up these pallets, like physically climb up. And I'd be like, okay, Leah, dropping a box. The
I
box
would shove it down and break all
right
over the ground. I
now.
swear to God, it was nuts.
It would explode everywhere, and then we'd have to like open up all the bags, retag it, like repack it up, put it in boxes, label it, put like a packing list on it, and be like, okay.
Yeah.
But you know why I love this? Because when I meet people who have had to do like literal boots on the ground shit to get where they are, it's like, you deserve it so much. Like
Aw,
everything
thank
that
you.
is coming to you. And also, guys, like, not for nothing, you guys are two of the sweetest people. Like,
you.
truly. But
Thank you.
did you go to school for business? Like,
I didn't do it. I mean, other than I can send a pretty good email, I think
Yeah.
that's as far as really my degree extent of things went. School really built connections for me. Again, I met a ton of people there, and
Yeah.
it was amazing in that way. But with ASU, I graduated with a focus in poetry for
What?
writing. I know.
Wait a minute.
Really
you're
random.
gonna have to bust out a haiku for
I
me
know.
real quick, because what? I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's very strange. And
I mean, it works in like your advantage too when it comes to like designing.
Yeah,
and
for
and all
sure.
That stuff. But like, no, we had no background, and I went to Boulder and I had a communications major. And I think when like the biggest thing too is like when people ask us today, like, did you know like it was gonna ever get this bigger? Like, how did you get here? Like, I think we genuinely like, just don't even understand it either. All we know is like we worked our fucking asses off every
Yeah.
single day, like blood, sweat, and tears, literally, like in the warehouse every single day. It was 110 degrees. We're the ones that really. We just put a lot of effort into it every single
Yeah.
day, and so it just, I don't know how it took off. It just did.
we would never, ever, ever also like make anyone from our team to this day, after going through the experience that we did, do anything that we wouldn't do ourselves. And that we stand by that. And I think the other part of our success is it's almost like manifestation and a deeper power, where we're taking every single action we can to make something happen. And
Yeah.
you know, also this step too, you're going to fail so many times. And it's just, how many times am I going to fail until I win once?
Well, that's the thing. You guys could have given up after the makeup didn't work. And like a lot of people don't even end up starting something because of what you said about like, oh, our hometown friends are probably watching us fail and being like, oh,
That's another thing too. But I think kind of when you're at rock bottom, like, and you have nothing left to
You
lose,
surrender.
You're just
Yeah.
like, okay. So we started just kind of laughing off all the terrible things that were happening to us at the time, because like we're like, there's nothing we can do about it now. Like, let's
Yeah.
just see if we can fix it. And so when you don't put that much pressure on yourself because you're already literally like failing, I think that mindset somehow got us out of that spot.
As long as it's horrible enough that you can laugh at it,
Yeah.
you're in a good spot.
Okay, I'm thinking like how many times, because for me, you know, being a host, like most of the things that I've had to go through, it's just been me looking at myself in the mirror laughing, being like, oh,
Yeah.
wow, like that fucking didn't go well. But I can only imagine the amount of times that you guys looked at each other and were like,
Oh my gosh. No, it's like at times I wish it was filmed, because it
was so absurd.
Yeah, it is so outrageous, like honestly. But I I think that we're also lucky because we have a very unique relationship, and anytime that I was feeling low, Leah was able to lift me back up, and same with her. Anytime she was feeling low, I would be able to lift her back up. So we were able to seesaw those emotions. It's honestly really admirable and impressive what you've been able to achieve because you've been alone. And like, I admire you so much, and I respect that so much, and a lot of people don't understand.
This is not about me, guys.
No, but I can't imagine doing it all alone, and especially like when you do have those moments, like it is easier when you have somebody to lean on. So like you have so much strength, like whatever. I don't even know what you failed in. I can't imagine you failed in anything, but the fact you could get through that.
Video. I have it on video actually. The things that I failed at because it's taped. But thank you. So the night that Gigi Hadid walked out in the sweatsuit, were you guys together?
Yeah.
Yes.
She screamed so loud from the top of the steps, I thought something terrible happened. And then she wouldn't answer me, like, what? And her face is like bright red, and she's looking at her phone, and she's like, and I'm like, what? And she's like, Gigi Hadid is wearing our set.
I had no idea either that it wasn't even from her direct account. It was from like one of the accounts that I had followed at the time. And I used to be such a big fan of her in general. And like, I was so shell shocked. I was like, wait a second, like it's happening, it's all happening.
Yeah. God, well, because we'd also sent it to her like months before, so like even now, like if you send somebody, even a stylist, something for somebody, like you don't necessarily know that they're gonna end up wearing it. So I think we kind of just like we sent it and we're like, hopefully she wears it one day. And then it was a couple months later she actually did, and it happened to be a perfect timing thing too, because she just broke up with her boyfriend, and he was like fresh off The Bachelor or something, I think. So everyone wanted to cover the story, and it said boys lie goodbye.
And now it's like the thing, like every time a major like baddie has a breakup, she comes out in boys lie. It's like the perp walk.
We love it though. We love it. It's the revenge dress.
Yeah, Ariana Madix.
Yeah,
it's like a thing now.
Yeah,
we love it though.
Yeah,
I love to see it, and it honestly, I love to see like all these people wearing it and feeling this confidence that they might not have felt in something else.
Yeah. Okay, so we know that the name and the concept came from boys lying, but now you both are in happy relationships, and like you're about to get married.
I am.
In a month from today, I think it's the 24th.
Literally.
1 month from today.
So the question is, do boys still lie?
Yes, boys still lie, but men don't, is our saying, where it's like if you find a real man, he won't treat you poorly and he will be very honest with you. But I think the other thing about boys lie that's so special is that heartbreak is universal, and it doesn't have to be like a man to woman relationship. It can be a breakup with a best friend, a sister, losing someone that you love so dearly, like a grandmother. Like that's really what it stands for, even though boys lie sounds like a negative connotation, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, everybody lies, let's be real.
That's a fact.
But it's true. Like, there's never-ending heartbreak stories. Like, right now, someone's getting broken up with or breaking up with somebody. Right now, somebody's, like,
somebody gets catfished.
Yeah, someone gets catfished. Like, I mean, you have a TV show out of it, too. It's always happening. So I think the brand DNA is really strong. But when we also created it, too, we wanted to make the clothing oversized because we used to steal all of our ex-boyfriends' hoodies, and we love the oversized fit. And we didn't feel like there was anything good out there for females. And so I think it's more so like people just feel comfortable and confident wearing it, and then it's also nice that they can say like 1-800-BOYS-LIE when they don't have to actually say it themselves.
Yeah.
It's a message.
You don't need to dress in like a super sexy dress to feel confident either. I think that's like the shift too of the narrative that we wanted to make in that. And we used to shop in the boys section at Urban Outfitters because we always loved oversized so much more, and that's kind of again like why I think that's also why people love it, is the oversized.
Yeah, for sure. I love oversized everything.
It's so much better.
Everything. I used to get the men's clothes at H&M, like suits.
It's way better.
They have a better selection.
They do.
It's unfair.
They do. They honestly
do. It's criminal.
Too many advantages for men. Has there ever been a time in your journey together, because I feel like a lot of like best friend businesses, even family businesses, fail and like fall out because people disagree or they're not aligned on messaging.
Totally.
Like, have you guys ever had to have any really tough conversations about the business?
Like, so we're not gonna ever lie and say it's been easy.
Yeah, and I would never also, if anytime anyone comes to us today, no matter what the age is, oh my God, I want to do this with my best friend, just like you, we're always like, look, as much as the best friend sounds so majestic, it's not what you think it is. And you have to create all these different boundaries between, like, we have a time for best friends and then we have a time for business. And like creating those boundaries, it's very hard because naturally lines blur in between. Like that's it's part of it.
Well, it's because it also, especially if you're starting something with your best friend and it's both of your babies and you both equally care about it just as much, like emotions are heightened already. And so it's like, we would also never recommend anyone working with their partner either, because then you could bring that back home with you, bring it into the bedroom, bring it into your relationship, and it's stressful enough.
Yeah.
But I think that we've been working together for 6 years, known each other for way longer, but I think we understand each other so well. I think our relationship is very, very unique.
We're overly communicative too.
Yes.
Like at this point where I'm like, she'll wake up and she'll be like, I'm in a bad mood, and I'm like, all right, I'm not going to text you for the next hour.
I'm I'm not going to talk to you right now because I'm going to be a bitch. So like, let me just like have my coffee and like, because it's just we have to communicate. But there was a time where we weren't, and our business was taking off. We were actually probably the most successful at that moment that we'd ever been in our friendship.
We hadn't spoken for like a year.
What?
Yeah,
there was while
so we
like
lived together.
Having the business.
Yeah, we lived together, had dogs
speaking,
together. We weren't really speaking,
communicating our emotions or our feelings. So we were basically just like ghosts in the house together.
And that never stopped. Also, our drive, like when it was work time, no matter what hour of the day, it never stopped our end goal of being like, we still have this dream together, no matter what we do. So even if we would be in a fight on a personal level, the second that we're up in the morning, we're like, we have this to do today. We have this to do today. So it wasn't like we weren't like. Again, we weren't not speaking at all.
You were talking, but you weren't communicating.
Exactly. Like our employees would have never known that we were in a fight. But like now it's funny too, because sometimes people will be like, are you guys okay? You're screaming at each other. And we're like, we are? Like we're like, no, we're fine. This is just how we talk.
Yeah, it's like sisters. It's literally like sisters.
Exactly.
But we did have that breaking moment after this year period where I'm very confrontational too, and I think I had a lot of work to do, self-work to do, where I had to jump on.
What are your signs again?
I'm Taurus.
I'm a Gemini. We were actually just talking about this in the car on the way here because we were talking about her moon and sun, and she just found out that what she thought she was for like the past 2 years was incorrect because of her birth time. So now she finds out that you're a Taurus Sag.
I'm a Sag. Yeah.
Oh.
Taurus Sag.
Oh, well, of course you're confrontational. Like, Sag say exactly what the fuck they want to say.
We were learning about this in the car.
Yeah, Tauruses are very, like, confrontational. They like to go back and forth. But Geminis are good with the words. Like, a Gemini can cut you down with them words, honey. You don't want to talk to her.
She's very
quick,
witty,
too. Yeah,
she's
quick.
You're quick.
Yeah.
Well, but it's almost better that we're both not super confrontational, because can you imagine?
No.
Yeah.
But, so she came to me one day, and she's like, we need to fucking talk. And I was like, okay. Like,
and
here
I
we go.
Basically like, the business not only will burn, but our friendship that we've worked so hard on over the past few years will burn with it if we don't correct this right now. And we kind of just laid out everything we felt on the table, every insecurity we felt, anything that we felt like towards each other. We kind of just got it out in a very clear way, and not in a way of like becoming defensive. It was like, okay, here's my time to speak, here's your time to speak, here's my time to speak, here's your time to speak. And that changed everything.
I think what we also realized in that moment too was like, we waited so long to have this conversation, and once we had it, like, we both realized that we're feeling and seeing different things, but we also completely understood each other's sides. And if we had just had that conversation sooner, it would have
blown over so much faster, and it would have been like so much less of a big deal. But I do think that it was so primal to have that for everything, for like our business and our friendship. And ever since that point in time, there hasn't been a moment where we've like slipped up on miscommunication. I feel like
I think after that conversation, we always say now, like, I can't read your mind, you can't read my mind. It's not fair to also expect somebody to do that. So but it's so hard to sometimes like admit how you feel.
No, it's like a marriage.
Yeah.
It's literally like a marriage. It's like the way you have to communicate with your partner, like business partners, and living together, doing all the things like all in one.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
It is. But it really is. I mean, coming from a person who's not confrontational, I think I've gotten better, like learning from her over the years.
And I've gotten softer.
Yeah, it's
I'm
weird.
so much softer now.
Sometimes she's like, no, like, it's okay. And I'm like, what? Like, what happened? But I think that, it's like, coming from someone who's not confrontational, it is so scary to me sometimes. Like, and then you get in your head and you psych yourself out, and you're like, I don't want it to make anything worse. I don't know if they're going to see my side. And you get like,
you never know what someone's reactions are going to be to anything. And I think that's the scary part. And what's even, I think, scarier, and this is something I'm learning as I'm writing my vows, because I was thinking about this as I was writing them. I have no issue telling anyone that I don't know how I feel or being direct. But when it comes to the people I care about the most, telling them how I feel is the scariest thing of all time.
Yes.
Why is that?
I'm a Scorpio, and Scorpios and Tauruses are sister signs, and so I'm the same way. And the same goes along with when someone that I really love and care about hurts my feelings.
Oh,
yeah.
It
Confronting them. I'm very confrontational. I'll confront any of these motherfuckers out here. But when it's somebody that I care about, I'm like, oh my God, how do I say
Yeah,
this?
it makes you like sweat and break down.
Yeah. I think it gives me full on anxiety, like hives.
Same.
It's so bad.
But I'm a Scorpio moon, and I think we're learning in the car that that her moon sign and my moon sign also like get along really well.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. I know you know a lot about astrology.
Oh, yes.
I could get into this with you like for hours.
It's my
honestly.
favorite thing to do. And some of my best friends are Gemini women. Gemini men.
No, they're all over the place. Way too all over the place.
Geminis have a bad rap, honestly.
Prisoners. And Taurus men too. Scorpio men too. All of them.
Yeah.
Boys lie, guys.
Boys lie.
All sign. Doesn't matter what fucking sign
Kevin,
they
my
are.
boyfriend's a Leo. He's a triple Leo. Yep. I know. Everyone in here is like laughing.
Gasps
They're like,
in the
are
room.
you okay?
Gasps in the room.
Mine's Virgo, Sag, Taurus. Isn't that so strange?
A lot of
to
energy.
unpack.
There's so much
my
to it's so much to
God.
grief.
But it's so crazy because he doesn't like come off to me as much as like what Leos are. So I don't understand. I think his birth date is, I think his mom's giving him the wrong time that he was born because there's no way he's a triple.
Is
He's
he
so
like
calm.
on Broadway?
Yeah.
No, he's literally like, he is so calm. Like sometimes I'm like, can you like scream at me for once? Because like I'm a yeller. Like my whole family's from the East, we're from the East
The
Coast. and it's,
Gemini's also.
yeah. So I'm like, ah, and he's never like ever yelled at me ever. And it's frustrating for me because I'm like, can we just fight? But he's like too mature, and I'm like, what's happening?
Maybe
like,
all the Leos are just canceling each other out.
Maybe.
They're just, it's like
Probably.
a triple negative. I don't know.
I have no idea. He's an anomaly. I have no idea.
Wow.
He's a rare breed.
Yeah, I know. Because it sounds like he'd be a terrible monster.
It sounds like he would just be, I just imagine him having like jazz hands constantly.
No,
just
and
being
he's the
like,
opposite.
I'm
Yeah,
the
he's really
star.
He's like genuinely the opposite. I have no idea.
But I will say he does have a very optimistic outlook on life, and he's very go with the flow. And
From
honestly,
Hawaii.
he's kept me. We lived together at one point, like all of us. Even
Wait, what?
Yeah. So he's
when
honestly
we were fighting.
Yeah.
When Tori and I weren't getting along. But he would be the one, I'd be like really upset, like crying at night. I'm like, I don't know what to do. And he would be the one that would be like, Leah, you love her. Like, you need to figure out how to fix this. Like, he'd never ever once said like, oh, what a bitch, or like, you know, like fuck her. Like, even though sometimes I'm like, can you just, but he would never do that. He'd always be like, you got to talk to her. You guys love each other. You got to fix this. And so like that always stuck with me too.
That's how you know you found the one. Somebody who like cares about the relationships in your life.
Yeah.
You know?
He never like butt in either. He never played mediator. And what was nice too is, I mean, during that time, because COVID had officially started and our business never stopped during that time, especially. But he was also like just always openly there. And he'd be like, do you want to go for a run? Do you want to do something? And like he never made it feel awkward.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how he got through that either. Like, geez, should we check in on Kevin?
Kevin. That's so sweet. Wow. I love that. I love to hear these stories.
Yeah.
But I also love the realism of like, this is what it's really like. It's not all fucking peaches and cream.
Oh my gosh, no, it's not.
Yeah.
It really isn't.
Yeah. So if you want to start a business with your best friend, just make sure that like you really want to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy, but again, like we just have a very unique relationship. I don't know how else to explain
And
it.
we see different facets of the business. Like Leah definitely deals with a lot of the wholesale customers. She's dealing with the Revolve relationship, or like the Nordstrom's relationship, all of that. And I do a lot of the direct to consumer facing type of relationship stuff or design work for that, as well as separately. Leah will be like, hey, Nordstrom's wants this, this, and this. Let's design this out. So we're kind of lucky that even pre-business starting, we really took different sides of the business and we're like, I'll handle this, I'll handle this, I'll handle this, I'll handle this.
Maybe it'd be easier too, like if you are going to start a business with your best friend, if you have somebody else there too who's a kind of like who is starting the business with you, who could be like a mediator between
or just outlining exactly what it is, roles and responsibility wise, what you're doing and what your expectations are generally, just very broadly, and see how you can flow by that.
Yeah,
that's really good advice. I feel like people just jump into shit. I mean, I feel like we do this from childhood. Like I can't tell you how many lemonade stands I started with best friends. Like you know, and we were making fucking bracelets and selling them on the street.
Oh my god.
Well, Boys Lie is an iconic name. And we asked our listeners to write in about things that they have been lied to about.
Oh my God,
I'm so excited to hear this.
Wait, yay. I love these stories.
And I try to like not read anything in advance, but some of these are very, very
Oh my God.
So are you ready?
Yes.
Movie? Here we go. Something that our besties are being lied to about or have been lied to about before. The newborn at his grandma's house being his cousin's when it was really his.
Oh. What would you do?
Wait, so the dad,
What?
the real dad was lied to?
No, like
No.
she was dating a guy and he said that the newborn that she must have met at his grandma's house was his cousin's baby, but it was actually his baby.
Why would you ever lie about that? Like, do you think that you're just never gonna, like, does he think she's never gonna find out if they start a full-blown relationship?
My mouth is still on the floor. I'm like, what do you do?
What do you do? I guess just leave him.
Red flag, get out of there.
What? A newborn?
Charge him for child support?
Where's the mom?
Right. No, exactly. I would have so many fucking questions.
Yeah. I need to know where
no
mom
way.
is.
Yeah.
Where's mommy?
Someone checking on the mom.
Yeah.
God, she's in recovery, obviously.
Oh my gosh.
Having
Having a baby while we were married. What?
We get
my
a lot
God.
of those
That would
submissions
be
actually from our
heartbreaking.
podcast. I have a lot of people that do have these. We had one that was the revenge one.
Yeah,
That was really bad, where this girl found out her boyfriend had a baby while they were together. And in the breaking up process of the two of them, she faked a pregnancy test, sent him a picture of it, blocked him off everything. And to this day, she doesn't know if he still thinks that she had a baby
Yeah,
or
she's
not.
like, so he still thinks he has 2 kids now.
And we were like,
Terrible.
we're down for like keying a car, but like maybe not faking a pregnancy
Hook up with his
test.
best friend, like that, you know. But don't fake a pregnancy test. I think that's terrible. That is
Okay.
terrible.
Yeah, maybe
I
not
have-
keying
I
a
have a
car. I'd be
terrible
upset
story.
about that.
No, Keith's car.
Fuck his dad.
Yeah,
Fuck his dad, Keith's car. Whatever. But don't fake a pregnancy.
Yeah.
So someone that I know who's a Gemini.
Oh boy.
This is a boy's life story. She was dating this guy. It was her boyfriend. Like, they were together. And one night, this is a fucked up story, but I get it. But also, fuck. They had like just finished having sex. They're in the bed. And his phone is going off and he's asleep. So she...
Of course.
Looks.
It's her
Yeah,
responsibility
she looks.
to
Yeah.
check
Yeah,
that.
she looks.
Yeah.
and it's a text from a girl. And it says, "Tell me to get an abortion and I will."
Oh my God.
My
Did she send
person
back
in my
do it?
life. She didn't send back anything. She blocked her, deleted it, blocked her on his social media, like from his page, so he couldn't see it. She ended up having a baby, but also not just one. She had twins. And he became a father of twins at like 20.
Is your friend still with this man? Okay.
She broke up with him.
Well,
the
thank
day
God
after.
she broke up with him. I would have pulled out, like, you know, in Wolf of Wall Street where Wolf of Wall Street where Margot Robbie like pours water all over Leonardo DiCaprio and is like, who?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
And
What
he's
are you,
like,
a fucking owl?
Yeah. That would be me. That would be
Yes.
me.
But I
Yeah.
feel like from your friend's point of view too, like seeing something like that is so jarring.
Yeah.
And I feel like you go into full blown like panic mode, shock mode, and like doing something like that. Like, I'm not saying like I understand and I would do that, but I can understand being in that type of like, holy fuck,
Yeah.
what do I do? And having
And
that
rage.
reaction and rage and having that reaction. Not that it's right,
Not that it's
Rage,
right.
hurt.
but you can't think straight.
But they
Yeah.
ended up staying. They stayed together, and then they had another kid. So now he's got 3 kids, and he's like 25.
Wow.
Well, I hope he doesn't lose him how you got him. Isn't that the
you
saying?
lose them how
Right.
you gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But finding out your partner had another child, like while you're with them, I feel like that would be like the most heartbreaking thing. I can't imagine.
No fucking way. in hell.
No.
There's no words. I hope that never happens to me. I'm like
No.
looking
Yeah.
everywhere.
It won't.
Yeah.
It literally won't.
Crazy.
Okay. Someone said that their boyfriend lied about his dad dying. His dad is in fact very much alive.
We've had some of those write-ins too. People are sick in the head, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I have
What is the reason?
We
Attention.
had, yeah, it's an attention thing, but we also had someone who wrote in, she was dating this guy for like 8 years. Someone gives her a call and is like, I just want to let you know he passed away in a motorcycle accident. Don't know what to do. family. She can't reach them. She doesn't understand why she can't reach the family. Looks online. There's an obituary online. She wants to drive to the town over to like go see him. Can't see him for some reason. Years pass later. She gets engaged. She's on her bachelorette trip in Mexico and ends up, for some reason, they stop at a water park to go to the bathroom, all the girls. They all are going to the bathroom. This man is laying on like the chair at the water park with his kid, and the girl who called her saying like, "Oh my God, he's dead."
So he basically ran. He was too afraid to break up with her that he faked his death.
And they ran away to Mexico together.
Yeah.
And she just so happened to be at this fucking water park and find him.
What are the coincidences from God?
That was God, literally.
And she was like, in that moment, I feel like I saw a ghost. And it was almost like she was saying that she'll never forget that feeling, that just like, is this, am I in a dream? Like, what's happening? Like, he's alive.
And all of the friends also like called out his name because they were also like, she's like, I cried over him like over so many like drunk like situations where I was so
she
sad.
Thought he was fucking dead.
Yeah, that's traumatizing.
Was with him for 8 to 9 years.
I would sue for sure. I would sue him.
This is why the show Snapped exists.
Like,
because the way that I would just see, I think I would just see red.
I would scorch earth. Like, I would literally scorch earth.
You would like. And there was a child in the situation, that would have been really dangerous for the child. If it was me. I'm sorry. I don't believe in child abuse, but have you seen that? Have you seen that episode of Insecure where Issa Rae picks up the baby and like throws it in the trash can?
Yes.
I'd be like,
I know.
into the pool.
No,
I'm like Doja Cat, like fuck
shocking.
them kids.
Yeah, literally punt the baby across the fucking water park and then like, fuck him up.
Are you kidding?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, I could not deal with that though.
But back to like lying about your parents' death too. It's like we've had those, and I think it's like these guys who just try and like who say stuff like that so they can get out of a situation that they've put themselves in, whether that be getting caught cheating and they blame it on that, and then their family or their parent isn't dead.
Brooke Schofield,
Clinton Kane, perfect example. It's insane. I don't understand. Like if it has to be some weird sick need for attention and like validation or something, or just like.
I don't know. I think it's the attention of like feel bad for me when I'm probably hurting you in some sort of way, and I feel like it was that type of mentality.
You got to be cuckoo bananas.
No, sick in the head. And I think that they start to like sometimes believe their own lies. Like that's how crazy.
And then torture you with them, like as if you should constantly.
Gaslight you.
Yeah.
I can't remember if we talked about this when I came on the Boys Live podcast, but have you ever had like a dream or like a gut instinct that told you that your partner was doing some bullshit?
Story.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Well, in high school actually, and I looked through his phone and he was. And there was like other signs too, but like something like just comes over you and it's like when they're not in the room and you're like, oh my God, here's an opportunity. And it's like this like weird rush of like adrenaline. You're like, I know he's cheating. Like, let me catch him. And I remember looking through it. It was like one of those old like LG like slide up texting phones because we're old.
Yeah.
And he was in fact texting the girl, and she had in fact been over his house that same week. But like if your gut's telling you to do something, like there's a problem, and I think you should trust it.
If you have an intuition about something as a woman, I feel like in general, don't stray away from that. Like your gut, it knows better.
It definitely knows.
But you know what's crazy? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But like ever since that moment, I've like been scarred to even look through somebody's phone.
I can't look through the phone.
I don't want to know. Like I just don't want to. You're always
I'd rather
find
not.
Something you don't like, and that moment was so heartbreaking to me. I'm like, I don't want to look through anyone's phone ever again.
Yeah.
Like it scared me.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
No, that would have. It's just so traumatizing. I just don't understand. I don't think that. I mean, I know that everyone has the capacity to cheat, but I feel like a lot of men are taught that it's normal. Like, like, of course you're going to look. Like, you have eyes. Like, I have a friend who, the guy that she's talking to told her, like, the reason why I like girls' pictures on Instagram and, like, follow them is because I see Instagram as, like, an art gallery. Like, and I like to look at pretty things.
Wait, that just happened with your friend where this girl who her guy friend is dating has pictures of her and her ex still up on her Instagram page. Like,
and she doesn't have that many Instagram pictures either, you know, like they're like 5 rows down, and I'm like, just delete them.
Yeah,
like,
why not?
Why would you keep them up there anyways? It's like literally trauma you're staring at while you're
holding on to hope that like it'll get back together. That happened to one of my friends too, and then like he was in another relationship and she still had the pictures up.
It's just so strange to me.
I think it's disrespectful.
It's disrespectful as fuck. Take these fucking pictures down. Stop acting like a fucking
save them in your iCloud for like, I don't know, not even a rainy day.
I don't like, I've never been one to like scrub my whole phone of pictures until my last breakup. I was like, I don't even want to see you.
Yeah. Well,
But
also,
like,
it takes a lot of time to do that.
it takes a lot of time to go back.
If you like,
Yeah, no, I don't go like back in my iCloud. When I do, I'm always like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like I need to go filter through
revolting.
it. But you see also from college and whatever, I have like hundreds of thousands of photos. It's like, how am I going to ever, that's like me going through my spam folder on my junk email. Like, I'm not going to be able to go through all that.
I know.
I don't have time for that.
But wait, I have a question for you back to cheating. I just thought of something. When Gianni was on our podcast, he's a male, but he was talking about cheating, and he said men can cheat on women and still be in love with the woman that they're cheating on.
That's what they
but
say.
women can't cheat on men without not
Without being in love
with them. So like, he's basically saying the only reason that girls are going to cheat on their guys because they're no longer in love with them. But he's saying that guys can cheat on girls and still be in love with their partner. And I was like, I don't know if I agree with that.
I mean, I've heard this plenty of times. Like, guys say, like, well, you know, like, I could fuck a girl and still be like in love with you, and still, but that women have like this emotional attachment. But I've also met women who are savages and just like don't care.
And still in love and will just do it. Yeah.
I personally can't even like, I don't even want you to touch me if I'm not
150%
romantically interested in you.
Like literally.
But I've said this before, that like in my past relationships, I've emotionally cheated on pretty much all of them.
Oh,
like,
wow, yeah.
But towards the end, when I knew that it
wasn't going to work out.
It wasn't going to work out. I'm not saying that it's right, but like towards the end, if somebody's giving me attention, whereas in the beginning, when things were good, I probably would have, I mean,
you wouldn't have even acknowledged it.
No, like, don't even talk to me. But towards the end, when things aren't going well, and you're like,
just like,
well, that's when you know too. You're like, well, you know what? If I'm actually liking this attention I'm getting from somebody else so much, like
you're on your way out anyways.
Exactly. And that's what I did.
Yeah,
that's what I did.
I feel like every girl has to do that a little bit.
Yeah.
I've done that. I'm a serial dater. Yeah, I was until I met my soon-to-be husband. But yeah, like every girl has to do it.
You know, it's a canon event.
Yeah, don't put all your eggs in one basket. My grandma said always have a spare or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah. But then when you meet the one, you're like, oh, I don't need a spare anymore.
Yeah,
and that's scary too.
It's so scary. It makes me sick thinking about even doing that to like my current boyfriend. Like I couldn't even imagine. But like my other ones, I was like,
yeah, I couldn't imagine ever. But like my historic ones, I mean, they deserved it.
Yeah, right, of course. And that's the thing. Yeah, you were right in the end.
You weren't wrong.
Just, like,
they were
probably wrong in the moment, but like in the end, you weren't.
Yeah.
Oh, someone got lied to about their partner being married. Motherfucker saved my number as the place I stay at, and below was my wife. So
oh my god. My wife.
No. What? Can you imagine going through your man's phone and it's you think like my wife is calling, but it's not you?
Where would he be then? Or where would they be?
Right.
I'd be like, where are you?
Right.
What are you doing?
If you're smart enough to not put that woman's name in your phone, then be smart enough to not have my wife saved in your contacts either. If you're going to cheat on both of them.
What are we thinking?
Honestly, I feel like, and I'm going to use men as the constant example here, you never hear about women serial killers. Just saying.
Right.
Just
Except
saying.
for Eileen Warnos, and she had a point.
Yeah. But that was
Lorena Bobbitt when she chopped off her man's dick and threw it out the car.
Again, she had a point.
He must have done something terrible.
Valid reasons.
I still think she's not guilty. I don't know.
He deserved it.
I still think she's a fucking icon.
Also, they reattached it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
And then he tried to do porn.
Yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody want to see that.
What in the
I
know. Nobody wants to see that thing, so no. Thank you very much. Someone said their partner lied about not still being in love with the girl that he cheated on me with.
Oh. I think that's a fool me once, fool me twice type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
How did she find? I wonder how she found out.
Yeah.
Because
I know.
Probably from the girl. From the other
I know.
girl.
But a lot of you get in these scenarios, like I've been in relationships where they're really good talkers and they're really good at like manipulating you and convincing you that what you think is not what's actually happening.
Yeah.
And
oh my
like,
God.
I can't believe you would even think that of me.
Because everyone just like wants their cake.
Yeah.
And to eat it too.
But we actually have a friend who is newly in a relationship with somebody who was fresh out of a like 5-year relationship, like fresh. And I think that that's also very tricky because there's no, I mean, I think regardless, even if you fell out of love with that person, if it's a week later, there's always going to be something that's still kind of floating around.
There can be overlap. Especially if they like live together or, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, they live
All the
together.
things.
I feel
scary.
like, yeah.
We can't really discuss more about it, but it
Yeah.
is just an interesting thing to think about. I think it's be careful with your heart if you are getting into a relationship with somebody who is that fresh out of something else.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Yikes.
The ride will end quickly. You get them how you got them.
Yeah.
You lose them how you got him.
You lose them how you got them. You get them how you got them. You lose them how you got them.
Wait, someone said that their boyfriend lied about him sucking off a dude while he was on a work trip.
Well,
Well, he's gay.
I mean,
the gaydar radar is going on.
but he is gay.
What?
Or bi.
How do you find that out?
I just.
You know, I found out through Craigslist.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Oh,
my,
yeah.
my ex was cheating on me with men, and he was soliciting sex from strangers on Craigslist.
Wait,
And
did
I
you
found
not?
out in his email.
Or I thought we told you this last time.
No!
Yeah.
Oh, so sorry. Back to the whole get up of boys lie.
Yeah.
We
No, so-
both went through really toxic breakups, but Leah's was definitely way more gnarly.
Yeah, we broke up like right after college and ended, but he would use my computer like sometimes for classwork, and I was doing like my last project for class, and I had to use Google Chrome, which I didn't even know I had downloaded on my computer. Honestly, I always am a Safari girl.
Yeah, right.
And I like already had Google Chrome, so I went onto Gmail, and it like automatically logged into his email. And at that point, I was so over him. I was like, bye. Like, went to log out, but the first email was like that was unread was like something crazy. Like the subject line was like
It was an
literally
insane
said, like,
fetish.
pee in my butt or something crazy. And I'm like on no sleep trying to like get this project done, and I'm like, what? I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I click it, and then I look at the rest of his email, and there's just thousands and thousands and thousands of messages from Craigslist that like went back like 4 years. Of
Some with
him
her professor,
soliciting with
too.
my professor. Like he would leave my house.
What?
Yeah, he would leave my house
Insane.
in Boulder, Colorado, walk across the street because I lived across from a grocery store, and like meet men there.
And
like,
visiting your parents.
and he was staying at my house at home in Philly.
almost
Was
said our
also like
parents.
doing that. It was a whole thing. It's also like so jarring when you find out that your boyfriend was cheating on you with the opposite with their like the same sex, because you're like, I didn't even know you were gay. Cheating on me is one thing, but now that I know that you're also gay, like I had no idea.
Wait, I'm
I would
ready
have
for
started levitating.
Every-
I feel
I
like
did.
my fucking
fully
My soul
soul
left my body.
would
Yeah.
leave my body.
No. you have no
wait,
idea.
I can't wait to see everyone's reaction in this room. You guys, he also died like recently.
Yeah. I know.
Oh my god!
I know.
What?
No, it's like I'm not like laughing because I'm just like laughing because I'm still uncomfortable about the whole situation. But like
Insane. Everyone's face, I knew it. I was like, just
No,
wait.
but it was like fucked up because like I also like I never got that closure with him either. So it's still to me like
You never said anything to him about it?
I did.
She had to. Like,
I had to.
It was a part of her own safety. I feel like.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
1000%.
I had to go get blood tests. I got all the things checked, and like thank fucking God I had nothing wrong with me. But like that, he was putting my safety in danger.
Yeah,
too.
anytime somebody's cheating and fucking other people, like you're putting someone's safety at risk.
Yeah,
But it's beyond also when it's like multiple partners at one time, or just these crazy fetishes where it was like so left field that
Yeah.
even when I saw the emails, I was just like, oh my God.
No,
like,
it was so basically when I did call him out on it, because I had to. I couldn't sit with that information, especially, and just not say anything because I would have gone absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
He obviously denied it at first,
Yeah.
but then he started saying, you know, it's like porn, you know, I would just do it to get off, but I wouldn't actually go. And I'm like, yeah, fuck it.
like there's addresses, photos, like
I'm like, lie, but like, okay, whatever you say. And then the next year he like drunkenly at homecoming actually in Boulder came out and was like, I'm gay or I'm bi or whatever.
And you're like, we know.
I know, yeah. But then he took it back the next day. He's like, I never said that, you know? So it was just,
Baby,
it was a
living
lot.
your truth.
There was a
Yeah.
lot of issues.
Cut this shit.
Too much. We could talk about this for an hour because there was so much that went on with him. But like, I think it all goes back to like the way that you were raised and like your parents' his parents' views on just certain like ways that people should live. And like, I think he was so afraid to be himself because of that, which is really, really sad.
Yeah.
But because of it, he held it so deep down and he was hurting me, and he probably hurt all the other girls that he was with and cheated on them too. So, yeah.
I will say though, in the confrontation part of things, like Leah handled it first of all immaculately, so that's amazing.
Well, because
But
part of you
I had to
probably
be
felt
sensitive,
bad
too.
too.
Yeah.
Well, I had to be sensitive because even as hurt as I was, I didn't want to make him feel like he couldn't like talk to me about it because I felt really terrible that
or
he
have
was
that life.
or
like
have that life. And he said to me on the
part.
phone that day too, he's like, you know, like, Leah, like I want to have a family, like I want to have like a wife and kids. I'm like, but
you can't. I mean, well, you can't.
I'm like,
not,
you can,
not
I'm
the
like,
wife
first of all,
part, but
you can still have kids. I'm like,
Yeah.
and your friends, he had amazing friends who would have been completely supportive. Even in his friend group, there was guys that were gay. So I'm like, I really just think that you need to figure out a way to be yourself. You're not only going to feel free, but you're going to be happy. You're going to be able to like live authentically. And if you don't, like, you're going to end up
hurting
cheating
more
on
people.
your wife or cheating on somebody. And like, you have to be yourself. But unfortunately, I don't think that he really felt that he could. And also the way that he died wasn't anything like because of mental health. It was because of an asthma attack, which is even crazier. He had, it was like
everyone's faces in here. I'm dying, you guys. I'm sorry.
Really crazy. He had really terrible asthma, and he
went to the gym, and then his gym partner like realized he
couldn't breathe, and he didn't have his inhaler, and like on the way to the hospital, he died. It's really sad. And I honestly, rest in peace. And
yeah, shout out to who he is, but
it was
That's
just
like,
it was crazy.
are you okay?
No, I'm actually in therapy, but
thank God.
it's hard because
Holy
I think
shit.
I feel like I can't still like connect with his death in a way. Like I can't like allow my brain to get there, so I think my brain like disassociates from it in a bit just because I never like had that closure, and I think my brain's protecting itself from like getting back into that spot because I can't even remember anything about our relationship. And we were together for like 8 months. I can't even remember like what we talked about, what we did, laying in bed with him, what he was like.
He was
around
super
me.
territorial too. Like he wouldn't want us to even hang out, go to lunch, or anything like that. Like his insecurities were really strong, and I think it made it hard too for a lot of your friendships, where it would be like, "Let's go to dinner" or whatever, and he would kind of cause these scenes, and it would be like people like wouldn't want him necessarily to be there, not because they wouldn't have enjoyed him, but just because his attitude towards everything was just not.
Yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't like...
I don't know what I was thinking, but it was basically like he was the loudest, most obnoxious guy in the frat room, and I was like, I want him. You know, it was just like a stupid thing. I don't even know
Every
what.
girl's...
Those be the
I mean,
ones,
look at my
girl.
exes.
Yeah.
Those be the ones.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Sorry, that was like really heavy, but...
No, it was just so... It was layered. There was
Yeah.
so many twists and turns.
There's a lot, and I also don't want like the whole death thing to like go over. Like I know it came off kind of like
Lighthearted.
No,
it's
that
not,
was
it's not
crazy.
meant to be lighthearted.
it's not meant to
No,
be. It's
that's
just
really
sometimes like the
sad.
only way I can allow myself to like deal with things is to like.
We have to
You're a
laugh about
Gemini.
it sometimes.
No, yes.
Like,
I also think that just you're still grappling with the feelings of it.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
it's hard to hold space for someone not living in their truth and like feeling sorry for them, but also you have every reason to feel angry and like sad and sorry for what you've been through.
Yeah.
Knowing and seeing that. Like that
It's tricky too because now that obviously he is not here anymore, it's like it's hard to think about those things sometimes. It's like I don't know, but I just still can't connect to his death. I don't know why. Like even when my mom passed away, I was like I felt like I could like feel her, and I'm not even that much of a spiritual person, but
you are. I feel like...
I can't connect to him. Like I tried, I remember after, and I just feel like my brain won't let me.
I don't think you need to.
yeah.
I think it's better for you that you don't.
Yeah.
And he's probably like, let me let this woman live in peace.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
he probably
Thank
is.
Let me let her live in happiness.
Honestly, he's probably laughing a little bit.
I hope so. I hope he's in a better place. But yeah.
Sir, R.I.P.
Yeah.
That's really fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, you're the craziest one that wrote in. Wow.
I'm sweating.
Wow. Oh my
Insane.
God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, that was a lot, I know.
Boys do lie.
No,
after
don't
all.
apologize. That was
Don't
perfect.
apologize. Yeah. What? Sometimes you gotta fucking get it out.
Yeah.
Somebody listening is like, same thing happened to me.
Yeah, there actually have been people that the same thing.
Recently,
Jeez.
actually, we just did a podcast with Tana, and one of the comments is literally like, "Oh my God, I found out my boyfriend was doing the exact same thing on Craigslist." And then it enters down a few spaces, and she goes, "But it gets worse." And then it enters down a few spaces, and she goes, "I stayed."
Yeah.
Miss Girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know about that part.
Don't know what to say to that.
But at least you're not alone.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, I know. I need to call her.
And you did the right
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
You did the right
seriously.
things.
You send her some merch.
Yes.
Oh my God, you guys. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank
This
you
is
for
so fun. I
having
feel like I could just
us.
talk to you. It's been an hour. Like
I couldn't
It has. That was like
talk to you
30
guys
minutes.
Yeah.
for so
We
long.
We love you so much. Like,
We
genuinely.
admire everything you do too, by the way. Like we're
Thank
huge fans
you.
of you, and like you are so accomplished. I wish we got to talk more about everything about you today too.
No,
You
this
deserve
is
like
about
20
you guys.
crowns, honestly.
Yes.
Stop. Thank you. I'll
She
just
is
take
the
my little
queen.
chair. My little
She
baby
is the queen.
cherubs will take 20,000 of them.
Oh my God, we'll send you also the new August stuff too to like pick out your
You're
selects.
gonna freak out.
Can't fucking wait.
so
Tell
good.
everyone where they can find you, where they can find the podcast, where they can find the clothes.
Podcast, we're just on Apple, Spotify, wherever else you listen. We're also on YouTube.
You can buy clothes and even submit your own Boys Lie stories to boysLieofficial.com. And if your story gets chosen to be read on our podcast, you get a free sweatsuit.
Yes,
so that's a
write 'em
fun,
in.
fun fact.
Instagram, we're just at Boys Lie, and mine's just at Leah O'Malley.
And I'm at Reptar, like the fire-breathing dragon from the Rugrats.
Yes.
So.
Which I love. Have they like contacted you to be like, can
No,
we get
I'm
this
waiting
back?
for the day for them
Yeah.
to be
Gonna
like,
come.
hey, here's my cash.
And
And,
you're
I'm going to be
like,
like, thank you
$5
so
million.
much.
It's gonna come. Wait, I love you guys' little like ending to your podcast, and I want you to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be quiet now, but remember.
Oh, no, you can start with buckle up.
Wait. Oh, buckle up.
Enjoy the ride.
And remember that
Boys Lie. There we go.
Bye.